Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to my 70th FlossTube video. As always, I always say this, but I do appreciate everybody who subscribed, commented, liked my videos. That means a lot to me. As always, links are listed for my email if you're interested in a class or more information. Um, Facebook, Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook, my Etsy shop, Instagram, all those different places. Also, I break my videos into chapters. So if there's a section you want to watch over, you don't have to try and scroll through and figure out where it starts. So just click on the timestamp next to the title of the chapter, and it will take you right to that section. So it's a 15th of November, and I have all sorts of fun stuff to talk about, and I'm very excited about this. So for my life update, I've had a few hectic days. I've been moving stuff from one storage unit to another, and I'm just trying to consolidate and get rid of a lot of stuff. I started out with 4 storage units. Those were mine and Jeffrey's. So we both had storage units for moving and all that stuff. Jeffrey kept his music equipment, some of it in one of them, or actually a couple of them. And we also had, when we had the antique store, we closed that down. So we had to box everything up, and that wall went into storage units. Ugh. And so, when I'm done with this, I will be down to 2 storage units, 2 instead of 4, which is saving me a lot of money. Um, the only things, the one I've been working on is pretty much empty. It's kind of full of junk stuff I'm going to dispose of. Some of it I'm going to donate. Most of it I've gotten rid of. I have found some really cool stuff. Some of it I'll be sharing with you. Some of it I'm just excited to find, like my Christmas tree and the old Christmas ornaments I have and that kind of stuff. So I may even put up a tree or 2 this year in my little condo here. But my next step after getting down to 2 storage units is to start working on this because I have a lot of stuff. So I want to start going through boxes here and clean stuff out and get rid of it, sell some of it. I am going to be selling more of my samplers and some of the other cool items I have. I just need to cut back. I'm sure a lot of you understand that. So to move on, as I've been doing the last couple times, I just wanted to show a couple of teaching pieces that I've been sending out, or I'm going to send out for class proposals. Now, a lot of you only want to have, if you're in a group, you only have like maybe a half a day class, or if it's a retreat, you just want like a couple hour class. So I designed this for a seminar I taught at in Myrtle Beach, and it was for beginners, but they wanted to learn some specialty stitches. And because it was near the beach, I designed this little sampler, and I gave different words. This one says life's a beach, and everybody got a little charm. There was all different charms. This one's got a mermaid charm, and it said I would be a mermaid fair. And this is from a poem I can't remember who by, but it teaches these are chain stitches, satin stitches. This is a back stitch, and then these are mosaic stitches. And I designed this so it could be taught on like 14 count. Oh, and there's some beads on there too. 14 count or 28 count. Isn't this fabric beautiful? It's even prettier in person. And then it came with this cute little matching fabric on the back. But this, like I said, it was like a 2 or 3 hour class. It was very, very beginner. Um, preferably people that know how to cross stitch or at least stitch, stitch some. And then they just learned a few specialty stitches. So it was just a real fun little class. So like I said, if you just want like a little half-day class or a few-hour class with just some beginner specialty stitches, this is a real fun class. And I had, like I said, there was a lot of different charms that people could choose from. It was the complete kit that came with either the 14 or 28 count linen and everything you needed except the stuffing to finish your little pin cushion. Or you could make it into a weight also if you wanted it to hold down a stitching frame or something. But anyway, so that's just a fun little class, and it's called I believe it's called I Would Be a Mermaid Fair. But I had a bunch of different sayings, so you could put whatever you wanted. You could put the name of the retreat and the year, that kind of stuff. So just something a little fun, not something as big and involved as some of my 2-day classes that have 25, 30 stitches. Just something, simple and fun. So there you go. As I've said before, I love to teach in person. I prefer to teach in person, but I'm plenty experienced in teaching over Zoom. So if you ever want to have a group of people, even if you had a group that was all over the United States or the world, for that matter, I could teach over Zoom. Okay, now I want to get into getting back. I've been finding a lot of my vintage sewing tools and things that are in boxes. I found some really cool stuff and I can't wait to show you that. But for right now, I've just got a few little, they're like sewing boxes, needle cases, that kind of stuff. This is, some of you may recognize, that is the Eastern Star, I believe, of oh God, I can't think of the name of Masons, the woman's. This is a sticker, and it was actually put over top. This sewing kit was handed out by a bank. I can't tell because the sticker is over the name, and you can't, if I try and take the sticker off, it pulls off the green color off the paper here. But it's a cute little sewing kit, and it says Pull Easy Trademark Sewing Kit, patent number, whatever. But it just opens up, and it's just something you could carry. It has these woven threads. There's 16 different colors of threads, and it's woven, and you can just pull out one strand of thread at a time. And it has needles. It has, this is the little directions, says for that stitch in time, hosiery and dress colors, pull easy thread, 16 colors, pull one thread of color desired for home, office, and travel, made by Silver ADV, so Advertising Specialties Incorporated in New York. And you can tell it's old because it's the address on it. You can see that says box, and then it says LIC, 5 NY, which is New York. So that's old. It was way before zip codes and all that kind of stuff. And it's been a few years since people repaired their hosiery, their silk or nylon hose. So anyway, that's just a fun little needle book. I just pick these up wherever. Sometimes I'll buy a sewing box and it'll have all these in it. Now this one's pretty worn, and it's oops, that's upside down. It goes like this. The flowers hang down. It's pretty worn. It's got flowers here and some leaves and a little bit of gold. And then this is a needle book also. Now there's no needles left in it. It opens up. There's some felt, or yeah, it looks like flannel maybe. But it says, I'm not sure, that may be German, but it says best gold needles. That's what that means. And then it says other little things here, but needlebooks were a lot nicer back in the day when you used to get a real nice as a gift from a bank or whatever. This is really nice. It says Lion Brand Series 200 needles. So this is a really nice needle book, and it has most of the needles in it, and they are in really good shape. They're very shiny. I haven't taken any of them out. They're embroidery needles. They are not, or quilting. They're sewing needles. They're not like tapestry needles. So the sizes are like, says 5 to 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 5, 10. And then down at the bottom where they're gone, you see the needles are gone out of the bottom section. It had rug, crewel, darning, millinery, betweens, and chenille. I think that last says. So this was made in England, and it says Crowley's in the center. You can see the numbers down here where the needles, there's some needles here. But these, obviously the person who owned this didn't sew a lot using these needles because they're all still there. And it has a real nice, it's in pretty good shape. Nice case. I don't think this has a year on it. And this folds down. But I don't see, you can see it folds open here, and there's all the needles in there. There's like, they're probably stuck in paper inside there. This one does not have a year. It just says made in England. So I don't know when that was when that one was made. So now this one's a little fancier. This is not a needle book. This is an actual, like it's not just sewing. This is a woman's maybe a travel kit she would use. It actually has a pocket knife. I'm not sure if this started with that or not, but you can see it has your button hooks or for your buttons on your shoes. There's a pair of scissors here. There's a smaller button hook. There's some needles. I'm not sure what this is. It's made out of wood, and I opened it up, but it may be a needle case, but I'm not sure because it doesn't really look like one. It's a little metal thing. This is a needle book. So this opens up, and this would hold your needles. There's several different layers of the felted wool in there, and it's like a red satin material. And some of these, I don't know if they originally came with this. That might have, because it kind of matches it. Now these are probably what they call French ivory. That this one is. It's not ivory. It's a man-made product. And this says Diadem Patent August 17, 1915. So that's about the age of this. Then there's a thimble in here. This is a nail file. And these, to me, these handles look like they're bone, not ivory. They're probably bone handles. They look like it to me. Not that I'm an expert. And then there's, like I said, a nice pack of needles in there. And this is a velvet lining. So this is a really nice case. This would be a lovely travel case. It says Boswell and Company, Oxford on the back there. But this would, and there's a little, like a crochet hook here. So it's pretty much got everything you would want, including, I don't know if somebody added this, but it's a little pen knife that it doesn't really look like it goes in any of these. There are loops here for all this. but it was sitting in here and it looks, there's a dent there, so it looks like it's been there a while, but people add, extra things to these. And then this is a pack of needles that came out of one of these kits I have. Was that one? I think it came out of this one. Just a pack. It says white special cold swaged, WSAGED. I don't know what that is. Machine needles. It says rotary, and it has a different sizes. Oh, there's only one sewing machine needle in there. So I will put that back in this case here so I don't lose it. So that's some kind of fun little items I found. I have a big item I'm going to talk about in a minute. So that's why everything else is kind of short and quick, because this next piece I'm going to show is like really big. So, but that's like I said, some fun little sewing kits and needle cases. And you can pick these up at flea markets, sometimes for a couple of dollars. Like I said, sometimes I buy a basket and it's full of, this kind of stuff. So just kind of fun. So you can just kind of, if you want to start collecting, start looking for little items like that as you go out and about. You can find them in antique stores, garage sales, wherever. Next, I want to talk about this. As I said, I've been going through stuff and I have this big, it's a box that I have some samplers stored in and some needlework. And I'll be going through that and showing you all of, some of them anyway. But I found this wonderful, wonderful sampler, and it's the longest sampler I have ever seen in my life. And I'm not going to unroll it right away. This is the sampler. It's all rolled up. It's all white work. And it has a lot of different stitching on it. So I measured it, and it is, let's see, it's 8 3/4 inches wide. It is backed by, I think it's a brushed cotton or polished cotton fabric. And it's all hand sewn on there. You'll be able to see it. I'm going to bring it up on my camera and put it on the screen full so you can see it. And it's going to take a while because I'm going to move it a little bit at a time. I measured it, not exactly because it's really long. This sampler is 11 feet and 8 inches long. So she was probably a schoolgirl. This was probably like her finale piece to graduate. It displays every kind of needlework you can imagine, from pin tucking to lace making. There's a little bit of cross stitch, needle weaving, just so much. Some of it, I don't know what it is. I'm hoping some of you can tell me what it is. So the girl's name is Connie, or her name is Constance. Her name is on there twice. Once it's written out as, or stitched as Constance, and the next section it is stitched as Connie Harding. So Harding, Harding. And the date on it is 1888. So it's pretty old, but it's in really fabulous shape. I mean, it's got a few stains and stuff, but for as old as it is, and the fact that it's obviously not framed because it's almost 12 feet long, it's in remarkable shape. The name, I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. You'll see it in a minute. It's like Tildornt or Thildornt. I tried to find it on Google, but I found nothing with that name. Thildornk. I did find some like a nunnery that had a similar name. It's in Belgium. It's actually Belgium. It's still actually all over the world. They have they're still around, but that's not the same name. So I don't know. I couldn't find anything for that nunnery where they were at that time where they were teaching girls to do needlework. So I don't know. But if you know anything, about this, you'll see how it's written out when I get to it here. I'll point it out. But I couldn't find any information on that name. Google, Bing, whatever I used. I think I found one, I think on Google came up with one reference to this, but it was like a book in one of the where they like take photos and you can see the actual PDFs of old books. I think this was from 1868, but it was not in English. I couldn't read it. I don't know what it was for. I didn't spend a huge amount of time trying to figure out because I didn't even know what language it was in. I tried to translate it, but it didn't translate. So, because Google asked, you want to translate this? And I tried, but it didn't work. So, but like I said, if you know anything about this, please let me know and I will share it with everybody because I would love to find out more about this and see if I could find this girl and where she was. And she was probably older when she made this because it's very, very professionally stitched. It's beautiful. So anyway, let me change over. I'm going to bring up my camera and then I'll walk you through this whole sampler. All right, so here we are. This is the what I would call the top end. And you can see this is all lace and it's actually open. It's just kind of stitched down here and along the edges. And you can see where she sewed this all by hand. Like I said, it's now on my screen. I don't know how it's going to look on yours. On my screen, it looks very pale pink, but it is a pale pink, but it looks brighter than it does on my screen. It's very, you can see it's got some staining on it. Needless to say, I mean, it's old, but the staining seems to show up more on the camera than it does on the actual piece. So this is the top section, and then there's all different sections as I move down. So I'm going to move this. I'm going to try not to drop this because it's rolled up underneath. So I'm just going to move it section by section. So here's the next section. And these are all focuses. See if I can zoom in so you can see what this is. So this is all little pieced sections here. The stitching is so fine and it has so many different types of needlework. That's why I had to share it. It's long and this is kind of awkward, but I'm just going to work my way through it because I think you'll enjoy this. So isn't that, this a little bit there. This is like a needle weaving. These are all woven threads. Let me zoom in a little bit. Obviously, this is one I will not be reproducing. Very interesting. I've seen, if you look on, I don't know about you, but I get a lot of different stitch demonstrations as I scroll through Instagram and Facebook. And this is one of the ones I've seen done. It's like it's a needle weaving and you would have two long threads and then you would weave up and over and around in between each one. And it looks like a spider web stitch in the middle. It's hard to get it to focus in. So that's that section. But isn't that just beautiful? And the whole thing is just this amazing white work. Okay, I'm just unrolling a little as I go. Like I said, I don't want it to fall on the floor because it's just a big wad here, big roll underneath. So this is cut work. And this is embroidery. This is not cross stitch or counted. It's got a little teeny stain there. But this they would do on, like, you could do it on clothes, on collars and things, pillowcases. It just does not want to focus much here. But like I said, this is a very experienced stitcher. This is probably everything she's learned in this school to make all these items. So like a big, it almost looks like blood. Not mine. So this is like pin tucking, maybe. You can see the, does not want to focus properly. Trying to, excuse me, zooming in and out. I'm just trying to get it so you can really see. But this is all hand stitched. It's just amazing. This is, oh, what do they call that? French hand sewing, maybe? Would that be what it's called? I know I've taken a couple little classes in this, but it's not anything I would be able to teach. So here you can see these would be buttonholes. And if you have any expertise on this, please let me know. You can see this is like a satin stitch here in the center. And then these are buttonhole stitches here. You could probably run a ribbon under there. That may be why it's so wide. So you could run, this is loose from here, run a ribbon in there. Oops. Back out. And this is drawn thread here at the top. I've done that. This is really, really fine, where you actually pull out threads. This seems like it used to focus in a lot better. But anyway, there are threads that are, you actually pull the threads out, and then you weave your needle through the threads and turn it over and flip it. You can still take classes in drawn thread. I have taken plenty of classes in that. I'm seeing what else my little, I have all sorts of stuff. I don't know what it does on my thing here. My camera, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry for all the zooming in and out, but you need to see this. And here's some more beautiful cut work. This is like tape. I'm just going to try and move it up so I can zoom in. And this, it's hard to see, but it has beautiful stitches woven in the center of each of these. Little spider web stitches. You really need to see it in person. It is just gorgeous. So here is, I'm going to move it up a little bit. Let me zoom out. This is the date, 1888. And this is this Phil Donk or Till Donk. I guess that's a C. It's not a R. I thought it was an R. So it's THILDONCK. I'll have to look that up again and see if I can find that. I was spelling it wrong because the other section, this name is in there twice, and in the other section, it looks like it's spelled differently. And so here is some more. Whoa, I'm gonna lose my thing here, so I'm trying to be very careful. Here's some more beautiful lace work. I am not an expert on this by any means. So anything you can tell me about this. I do have some books on white work and stuff, but they're packed away and I didn't have time to dig them all out. But I just wanted to share this. I thought this would be a really good piece to show. So, okay, next section. Now this is interesting. This is fine hand sewing. So this is to make like a little dart, or see it's sewn there. And this is how she would do maybe a neckline, or a not a dart. I can't think of what that would be, but you can see how she finished the edging. It's like lace work in there. I'm going to zoom in some more. Try and focus. They're so much prettier in person. I feel bad that I can't get good shots of this, but you can see there's she did this hand sewn edging all the way around with like a buttonhole stitch around the edge, and then a little satin circle. This is also hem stitched, or actually it's satin stitched on the end and then trimmed off. Now this is, oh, there it went. It fell on the floor. Dang it. So this next section is like needle weaving, where it's a netting and she's woven threads in to create these patterns. It's just like a plain white lace. See the lace on there? Yeah, it doesn't want to focus in very good, but it's like a netting, I should say. And there's just, it just goes on and on and on. So here's her name, Constance. And this has been folded over, but she's got some beautiful edging here. This is pin tucking, beautiful work, amazing satin stitch letters. Here's some more of the weaving. It's getting kind of full back there, where it's just woven into the netting. You can see the netting pretty good on this one. Here's some more beautiful French hand sewing with the joining stitches here, some pretty woven stitches, buttonhole. Now here's buttonholes, handmade buttonholes. Hand sewing here. That's called maybe shearing. I wish my mom was around. She would know what all this stuff is. But again, this is all sewn by hand, and this is like a chain stitch down the center. Getting pretty full back here with all my, there. I don't know what these initials are. It's kind of, maybe they're upside down. It almost looks like a P and a T upside down, but I'm not sure what these initials are. Oh, that's staying there. But again, this is done on the netting. You see the netting here? Oops. So much amazing hand sewing here. Can you imagine how long it took to do all this? This is pin tucking here, done by hand with the more drawn thread work on the edging here. Here's a little, oops, move that up so you can see it. So this could be a little decorative piece on a blouse or something with the white work embroidery. Gorgeous. And more pin tucking. I guess this is what I saw, and then this is where it got me confused. This is actually a C. Now, to me, that's an R, but where she stitched it in another place, it's a C. So I'll have to try and look that up again and see if I can find anything about it. But this is all stitching. This is all wrapped. It's on the netting, and it's just like diagonal satin stitches, kind of woven through the netting. Here's some more beautiful hand embroidery. Oops, I don't know what that, she may have been working on her name, C-O. You can't hardly see it, but there's some really fine lines in here. C-O-N, I don't know. You can see the really fine, there is a fine line here. That's hard to see. And it doesn't want to focus. Of course it doesn't. Anyway, it is beautiful. Some more. Oops, make this smaller here so you can see it. Some more beautiful embroidery. And this is very, very fine. Let me zoom in. That was actually added in, that piece. Very fine embroidery. Does not want to focus. Sorry, guys. But you can see where this is actually stitched here, and it's very, very fine. This rectangular piece. You can see where it was placed in that, and you can barely see where it was added in. Again, all hand sewn. Oh, I'm getting close to the end here. So this is a really interesting piece, a lot of different stitches. Again, this is on the netting. And then there's all different stitches on the netting there. This is really sweet. It's got like a little ribbon in under here. So you could put that around a neckline or something. You can see all the handmade eyelets up in this lace in the top. Those were all done by hand. And this is a feather stitch here. Here's some more withdrawn threads. Now, drawn thread, withdrawn thread is different than pulled thread. Pulled thread is where you're actually stitching on like a loose linen or something, and it pulls the fabric tight to create lace. It'll look like lace. This drawn thread or withdrawn thread is where you actually remove the fabric threads and then weave back in. You can see where it's there's been another thread woven back in the center, and then the threads are, you go like over 3 and under 3 and then flip it upside down and it will create this look. Eventually I'll be able, I found some sample. Oh, here's a bigger one. Let me show you. Here's a bigger section. I'm almost to the end. So here you can see better. This shows how the threads are actually removed. And then there's sections of thread, trying to get it to focus. There's, it does not want to focus good. There's some sections here where it's, you take this thread in the center and weave it back in and twist threads around, flip them upside down and go back through, and it just twists them around. It's interesting. I've taken a few classes in it, and it's not something I do often, but I've done it before, and it's very enjoyable. And it's always fun to learn something new. So this section is the same on the top and the bottom. Here's another little section of lace work here on the netting. And this section, I'm not sure what this is. It may be maybe Mont Melic. It's some kind of a white work stitch. And that's you can see it's a very raised stitch. This is going to drive me crazy. I got to figure out how to get this to focus better. But it's very pretty. So much prettier in person. Now this section is obviously cross stitch. I don't know what count this is, but it's really, really, really tiny. I would have to look at it under my magnifier and see if I can figure out what the count is on this. But you can see it's like a handkerchief linen. It's very, very fine linen. Okay, and then this is where she has her name, Connie Harding. Isn't that a pretty alphabet? I may have to try and copy that. It's very, very pretty. And we're almost to the end. Here's another section of white work where it's cut out. And then, I don't know if you can't get to the back of that. This is actually sewn down here. But there's netting behind it. And you can see all this is cut work. The edges are finished. You would do like a satin or a buttonhole stitch around the edges and then cut it out. And then we come to the bottom and there's another little section of weaving here. But isn't that amazing? Let me stop screen sharing here and then I will come back and kind of end up. Okay, I'm back. Isn't that amazing? I couldn't believe it. I actually didn't even remember I had that. I don't know where I got it from or how long I've had it. Obviously, like I said, I will not be reproducing this. I would love to try and do some of the stitching. I've done a lot of that, but I'm not much on the white work, the handwork. I believe I've been in EGA for so many years. I'm sure I've taken a white work class to do the little eyelets and stuff. Obviously, it's not something I do much, but I enjoy it. I enjoy looking at it. It's so beautiful. So anyway, that's it for FlossTube 70. I hope you enjoyed seeing this fabulous sampler. I have some other ones. I'm so excited. I just didn't want to pull them all out at once. I want to kind of bring them out a little at a time because I did find a lot of samplers you haven't seen yet. And again, some of them I will probably be listing for sale. I am trying to cut back on some of my items, some of my collection here, just because I don't have the room for it anymore. So, but again, thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, commenting. Please, if you have any information on any of this, I would really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe so you can be notified. My videos come out on the 1st and the 15th of each month, hopefully, unless there's a hurricane or something. Please, no more hurricanes. And don't forget, you can share your photos on the Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page. You can join the Stitch of the Month Facebook group. Next, on the next video, we'll have a new Stitch of the Month. It'll be the final one for 2024. Before we go into 2025, I can't even believe that. And if there's anything else you'd like to learn about or a stitch you'd like to learn, please let me know. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you on the 1st of, holy cow, December. Bye.